priceless experiences. Napa Valley wine tasting, spoiling my women friends. Sitting at the table with millionaires. The narrative is tax loops, accounts offshore squares. It's not allowed. Back like we never left. We are back like we never left. Welcome to Coin Gang. Welcome to Coin Gang. Happy Friday, ladies and gents. Wherever you at in the world, I hope you're good. I hope you're being loved on. Hope you don't get into too much trouble tonight, wherever you go. As always, if you can see me, press 1, and if you can hear me, press 2. If you can see me, press 1, and if you can hear me, go ahead and press 2. Over here, we believe in top shelf or nothing. So if you can see me and you can hear me, go ahead and press 1 and go ahead and press 2. My name is Ken Billions. If you didn't know, your homie, your player partner, your bro, your dog, everything in between. You know what I'm saying? If you can see me, press 1. If you can hear me, press 2. When you come in, go ahead and press the like button. 1 second. Go ahead and press the like button when you come in. Already shared the video. 1 second. Peace to y'all. What's good? Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Let's do it, man. This is Coin Gang, the #1 home for personal development, the place where you come in ordinary and you leave extraordinary. What's up with y'all? What's good with y'all? What's happening? This is Ministry for the Abstract Mind, and this is a safe space for everybody with that out-the-box philosophy. Shout out to you. Came through the door with it ASAP. I appreciate you, beloved, and we are going to do what we do and keep everything above the neck. When you come through like that, and make the spirit hit me. Appreciate you. I got a good bill for y'all today. What's up with y'all? How are you doing? This is Ministry for the Abstract Mind. We always got to say that because some people come in the chat and they don't get it, right? They don't get it. This is not for everybody. This is exclusive. This is for people that, you know, smoke and have that crazy conversation like, yo, right? This is Ministry for the Abstract Mind. This is people that have an out-the-box philosophy. We don't deal with talking points, stats, and data. Shout out to the ladies coming through. Shout out to the ladies, right? This is one of the greatest mods on YouTube. Appreciate the beloved. Shout out to All Things Netta Jean. Appreciate you, love. As always, if you got babies, please keep them close. Do something with your babies this weekend. Go somewhere. Go somewhere. I don't give a damn if the baby is 5 or 50. Hang out with your kid this weekend. And if you got someone that you love in your life and you know you're really trying to keep it together, be patient with each other, man. This love shit is hard. Don't get it twisted. This love thing is hard. If you're on Facebook, make sure you get the supporter badge. Can't believe Facebook people are still pulling up here without that supporter badge. Come on now. What you waiting for? What kind of confirmation are you waiting for that we body bag shit over here? My name is Ken Billions. Also, body bag Ken. I put the death. I put old ideals to death, right? And implant new ones, right? We take old ideals and body that shit, right? If you're on YouTube, Super Chat is your friend. So is the membership. Cash App is your friend. Also, put the number in your phone because you could be going through a crisis, right? Put this number in your phone. Put the Nothing But Game hotline in your phone, 888-565-8734, 888-565-8734. I am your accountability partner. So when you are ready to take yourself serious, go ahead and dial the Nothing But Game hotline, and I can help you get from A to Z. It does not matter what your issue is. I'm on your side. So put that number in your phone. Also, next week, I don't got the day yet, but next week, I will be doing a masterclass for only my members, whether you're a member on the website, kenbillions.com, a member on Facebook, or a member on YouTube. And what the class is going to be about is how to body bag builds, right? I'm going to show you my process on how I create my builds, right? And we're going to go from A to Z, right? Because it's a certain format that I use, and that's only for my members, my Facebook members, my YouTube members, and my members to kenbillions.com. So that'll be next week, probably next weekend. And it is the how to body bag builds. And it is a masterclass. It's going to be surgical. Today, we are talking about the secret power of women. The secret power of women. We are going to talk about serpent submission. The secret power of women, serpent submission, and men want to control the wrong damn thing. We're going to talk about serpent submission, the secret power of women, and men want to control the wrong damn thing. Our conversation today is the revenge of Lilith, femininity, and the paradox of the divine feminine. The revenge of Lilith and femininity, the paradox of the divine feminine. Wow. I have a question for everybody out there. Right? This is some of the things I'm going to talk about and how to body bag build. So that's only for my members, right? But you're going to know exactly how I cook up. And then when I do it, you're going to be like, oh, Ken is doing it, right? So that's all. That's for my members only. All right. Is there a gender war? That's my question. Is there a gender war? What do you believe? Is there a thing out there that's man against woman, woman against man? What do y'all believe? Is there a gender war? Who's winning? Who's losing? Are men and women beefing? Is there a gender war? What do y'all think? Do you believe that it's a gender war? All right. Shakima says yes. Shakima says yes, there's a gender war. Cherie says, I believe so. Nicole says most definitely. Anybody else? Is there a gender war? What do you believe? Shout out to the homie Martin. What's good, bro? Appreciate your support, fam. Feels like it is. I just ignore it. All right. I believe women are eating against women. Okay. All right. All right. Since the beginning of man and woman. All right. No, there is no gender war. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Let me see. Well, there is. There is a gender war, and this gender war is ancient. It's very old, right? You're just seeing it play out on social media. You're seeing it play out on podcasts. You're seeing it play out on articles. But yes, there is a gender war. Men and women have never actually been in harmony. We're actually different, right? We want two different things, right? And men and women have been at war with each other. Both sides want power, okay? What we have been into, or what we have been born into, is men having the power because men have won a war. But there is a war going on, and it didn't start now. It didn't start with your mother and father. It didn't start with your grandparents. This war is an ancient war, right? So the men right now control things, right? And the number one thing that men want to control is the womb. See, that was part of women losing the war. Men had control over their wombs. Many women believe, oh, I was born to be a helpmate. That's because men won the war, so they control the doctrine. So if you're born into that culture, you believe your entire purpose is to assist the male. That's because the male won the war, right? It's womb control. So when you control the womb, you also control the woman. You just don't control the woman, you control what the woman thinks, and you control how the woman sees the world, because that's how war goes. Understand, men and women have been at war for thousands, maybe even millions of years. We think we're the same, but we're actually not. We're human, right? But we're not the same. Human has species to it. Female's a species and the male's a species. And we are wired way different. Okay? So what you're seeing right now in podcast world, in talking point world, is data and statistic world, is men fighting the war. For what though? For control of the womb. Telling you that you're gonna die alone if you don't get on a man's plan. That is a guilt or a shaming tactic. So for you to say, you know what? I don't want to spend the rest of my life alone. So let me allow someone to control the womb, right? So before, womb control was about force. Now it's about psychology. You can also use religion as well. You use resources too, right? To control the womb, right? So anytime you're hearing these conversations about femininity, masculinity, the love industry, it all falls on womb control, right? Even the idea of a man is supposed to protect and provide. That triggers something in your mind, scarcity, right? But that concept comes from a environment that doesn't exist anymore, right? Hunter-gatherer societies. When people coughed, they died because there wasn't cures for a lot of diseases. Humans were at war with the environment, right? The things we hunted us as well. So we created survival tactics and ideologies for that time period, and we haven't actually adjusted. So we're still living in a Neolithic way in a digital world, right? Right? Because everybody can protect and provide for themselves at this point. But listen, the podcasting, the talking points are about womb control, control of the womb. I'm going to give you some examples of womb control, right? And I'm going to show a lot of fellas, ask yourself something. Why do you think the woman might be pushing back, right? Because at this point, you'll do yourself a disservice as a man trying to control the womb, because you're actually free. You don't have to control the womb. You can go on about your life and do something that your forefathers couldn't do, and that is chase purpose, right? That is to actually be an individual, right? You could do your own thing, but no. You're trying to fight old wars, right? You're fighting men of the past war for the control of the womb, and you don't have to. But let me show you something real quick. Coverture, right? Coverture. When marriage covered a woman's identity, it's a form of war right here, right? Women lost the war thousands of years ago. So what you're seeing online and on podcasts and on blogs, it's old. Very, 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 very old. You were born into it, but women lost the war. And we think that this shit is natural, right? It's not though. It's based on war and a certain thing has been looking a certain way for a long time, that you think it's always been like that and you think it's designed that way. Not so. Coverture. Coverture. A woman was presumed to be a minor person so long as she stayed in the household of a male relative, father, brother, uncle. The woman was a minor. She could be 22. A woman was presumed to be a minor person so long as she stayed in the household of a male servant, father, brother, uncle. So as long as a woman was staying with the man, she was considered a minor. Interesting. Upon marriage, a woman's legal rights were subsumed by those of her husband. His legal personality covered hers. Wait a minute. A 25-year-old woman was considered a minor. You see, womb control? You understand this is because women lost the war? Right? You don't set up these dynamics unless you have lost. Something had to occur in the past that put you in this position right here. Right? Now, men of today have a freedom that men of yesteryear didn't, but they want to fight those men's wars and put the woman back into coverture. So when men often talk about submissiveness, this is what it comes from. The rules of coverture prohibited women from own property, all wages, any inherited wealth became the husband's. Women couldn't make contracts, write wills, sued or be sued in court, including initiating divorce. Now, you know what's interesting about that part right there? Because we like to say our grandparents stayed together. We love the pictures. We are very addicted to what we think the past was. That's because we're scared of the present and very uncertain about the future. So we create a romantic past in our mind, especially if you come from urban culture. Blackety black, you know. You think of Africa, of a place that was just this oasis, and people were just kind, and life was good, and they wasn't bothering nobody. And then a group of people just started messing with them for nothing. In America, you think about the past that your grandparents was just happy. You assume that your grandmother stayed with your grandfather because that's what she wanted. You're always talking about your grandfather and your grandmother, but you never read from your grandmother's journal, though. By the time you were born, your grandma was already 60, 50. You don't know. All you know her as is to be old. That's all you know her as. And by the time many of you were grown, your grandmom and grandfather had already passed away. So you have no clue on their dynamics in the bedroom, in the household. But you look at the pictures and you think that you're missing something. Why can't we be like that? But what you're not understanding is you only mean it one way, though. So when the man is talking about the grandparents, he's only talking about the role that the grandma played to the man. He wants what he thinks is the luxuries that the grandfather had. You know, a submissive woman, pregnant, barefoot, didn't talk back. But the modern man doesn't know about coverture. Do you know, based on coverture, women couldn't even get custody of the child in divorce? In coverture, a woman wasn't responsible for her action. The husband had responsibility for her. And he had the duty to reprimand her physically, aka chastisement. That's what y'all want. That's what y'all want. So all the talking points, the high value man talk, the podcast talk about body counts and all that, what you're actually talking about is a period, what you think in your mind, when the women had no control. Because the woman having no control elevates the man. That's because you don't understand that the woman loved the war. Now, a smart man would free himself from all that shit and do his own thing. Be extremely selfish and independent. Because the best type of control that a modern man can have is self-control. The modern man is not focused on self-control. He's focused on controlling the womb. He's focused on a time period that doesn't even exist no more. The term the modern woman is used as shade to put the woman in a place of no power. But I would tell all young dudes right now, sir, do your own thing. Did you know under coverture, the woman could not refuse sex? Do you know they had to develop later the R word? But the husband in coverture could take the vagina anytime he wanted. She was not responsible for her actions. The man was. Man, if you a young dude, man, you don't need that type of control, man. Control yourself. You free. Your great-grandfather wasn't free. He wasn't free to be an individual. But you are. Fuck all them talking points and data and statistics trying to control the womb. The womb was never designed to be controlled. You only know women from a perspective that they lost the war. Law of coverture. By marriage, the husband and wife are one person in law. That is, the very being or legal existence of the woman is suspended during marriage, or at least incorporated and consolidated into that of the husband, under whose wing, protection, and cover she performs everything. And her condition during her marriage is called coverture. Now, why would women want to be in that? Why do you want the women to be like their grandmother? Oh, they got a little too much mouth, huh? They a little delusional, huh? Now, we talk a lot in America about post-traumatic slave syndrome, right? Now, let's put our science hat on for a second, right? Huh. Now, we talk about post-traumatic slave syndrome. Is it possible that women that lived under coverture pass that trauma on to future generations of women? If it's not possible, then I don't want to ever hear you say anything about we got something from slavery. I don't ever want to hear you say anything about nothing regarding the damages of slavery, and that it's in our subconscious memory. Because if that's the case, then wouldn't women pass on traumas from coverture to future generations of women? Now, if you can't consider that, then you can never consider epigenetics or none of that. I'm just saying. Or does it only work when it comes to slavery? Because it looks like the quote modern woman is pushing back on something. Where are they getting that from? Have you ever considered maybe it's hardwired in the biology? My name is Body Bag Can. Body Bag Can. Body Bag. Just consider that for a second. Because we'll say that the traumas that come from slavery had a major effect on us, right? To this day, we've created something called post-traumatic slave syndrome. So if that's the case, then is it possible that things that happened to women in the past, they passed it on? Is that possible? Coverture. Womb control. See, when you lose a war, it's brutal. It is brutal. The legal status of women, 1776 through 1830. State law rather than federal law governed women's rights in the early republic. The authority of the state meant that much depended upon where a woman lived and the particular social circumstances in her region of the country. The disparity in standards can perhaps be seen most dramatically in the experiences of African American women. In the North, where states abolished slavery after the Revolution, Black women gained rights to marry, to have custody over their children, and to own property. On paper, at least, their rights were identical to those of white women. In the slaveholding South, lawmakers continued to deny enslaved workers these basic human rights. But even in the South, a rising number of freed Black women theoretically enjoyed the same privileges under the law as white women. However, racial prejudice against Black and Native women made it difficult to ensure these rights in practice. In every state, the equal status of free women depended upon marital status. Unmarried women, included widows, were called femme souls, or women alone. They had the legal right to live where they pleased and to support themselves in any occupation that did not require a license or a college degree, restricted to males. Single women could enter into contracts, buy and sell real estate, or accumulate personal property, which was called personality. In every which we'll call personality. It consisted of everything that can be moved, cash, stocks, and bonds, livestock, and in the South, slave, so long as they remained unmarried. So everything you just heard that a single woman could do, that stayed in place as long as she wasn't married. So long as they remain unmarried, women could sue and be sued, write wills, serve as guardians, and act as executioners of estates. These rights were a continuation of a colonial legal tradition, but the revolutionary emphasis on equality brought some important changes in women's inheritance rights. State lawmakers everywhere abolished primogeniture and the tradition of double shares of a parent's estate, inheritance customs that favored the eldest sons. Instead, equal inheritance for all children became the rule, a big gain for daughters. Marriage changed the legal status. Marriage changed women's legal status dramatically. Listen to this. When a woman married, as the vast majority did, they had their legal rights. They had legal rights, but no longer had autonomy. Instead, they found themselves in positions of total dependency on their husband, which the law called coverture. As the English jurist William Blankstone famously put in his commentaries on English law, by marriage, the husband and wife are one person in the law. That is, the very being or legal existence of the woman is suspended during the marriage, or at least is incorporated and consolidated that of the husband, under whose wing, protection, and cover she performs everything. Coverture was based on the assumption that a family functioned best when the head of the household controlled all of the household, when the male head of the household controlled all of its assets. As a result, a married woman could not own property independently of her husband unless they had signed a special contract called a marriage settlement. Such contracts were rare and even illegal in some parts of the country. In the absence of a separate estate, all personality a woman brought to her marriage or earned during marriage, including wages, became her husband. He can manage it or give it away as he chose without consulting her. This is what the podcasts are trying to go back to. The single woman had more wiggle room than the married woman. That's very interesting. When they say, oh, marriage gives a woman a covering, they're absolutely right. The husband covered her because that's from coverture. She was absorbed into the man. That's deep. She had no identity. The single woman had an identity. Think about this for a second. What do you think women thought of Amelia Earhart? What do you think women thought about Josephine Baker? The language that's used, like thought hole for the streets, right? Is so you are pushed under the control of the man. They don't actually. They actually don't. Laws had to be created for the husband to respect the wife. They had to be created, Miss Debbie. That was not the original agreement. The marriage binded a woman to the man. He didn't have to treat her kindly. All that came later. if you and a person are together, right? But you're counted as one person, right? How does that person have to respect you? You're under their status. This is the stuff that has been baked into the culture. Coverture. Y'all should do y'all research on that word. Right? But the podcasters and the talking points are trying to bring a world back that doesn't exist anymore, and they're fighting for it. Right? But here's the interesting thing about this husband and wife stuff, right? Very interesting kind of stuff, right? You know, I'm in etymology, right? So I went to the etymology of the word husband, Old English, right? Husbander, right? Male head of household, master of a house, householder, probably from Old Norse, husbandy, master of the house, literally house dweller, from hus, house, bondi, householder, dweller, freeholder, peasant. Peasant. I had to sit for that for a second. I'm like, peasant? And I understand that we live in bizarro world, so how we use words now is not how people used it in the past. So when the word husband found its way into the Old English lexicon, it applied to a peasant. Interesting. So I wanted to be sure, right? I wanted to be sure about the word, right? I wanted to be sure about the word. So I went to husbandry, right? Management of a household, farm management, right? Obsolete sense of peasant farmer. And I'm like, damn, hold on for a minute. So this word is from the 14th century. So when the word husband was used, it was attached to poor farmers or peasant farmers or house dwellers. The term wasn't something luxurious. Master of the house, okay. House dweller, householder, dweller, freeholder, peasant. So then, you know, I always have to go to the word wife, right? And I put two and two together, right? And I'm like, damn, okay. So when we look at the etymology of the word wife, we see wife doesn't mean anything but woman, right? Now let's go to the second paragraph. Apparently felt as inadequate in its basic sense, leading to the more distinctive formation wifman, source woman. Dutch wif now means in slang girl, babe, having softened somewhat from the earlier sense of bitch. Wait a minute. Hold on. So the husband, the term was for a peasant, right? And wife didn't mean anything admirable, babe, girl, but it was also interchangeable with the word bitch. And then it hit me. It hit me, y'all. Hit me. The men at the top that won the war, that conquered the women, right? When they're conquering these women, a lot of these women come from kingdoms. So you're getting resources, right? The men that are rising up in status have to keep status. And the way to do that is you need to give the men at the bottom a bone. You got to throw them something. Because if you don't throw the men at the bottom something, they're going to come for you. It's going to be hard to control the men in the surrounding areas if I have all the resources and all the women. So let's do this. Let's create a system for the men at the bottom to have control over something. It's not going to be the resources. It's not going to be status. It's not going to be military. But what they can control is the womb. The poor farmer, the peasant, had control over his wife, aka his bitch, the woman. Because I had to think about this for a second. I'm like, damn, husband is a peasant? Husband is a peasant? Wife means girl, babe, or bitch? The men at the top, peep this, the men at the top, you know, guys right now talk a lot about monogamy. Oh, monogamy is not natural. What do you think it's for, though? Do you really think it's for divine purposes? Fuck no. It's for guys at the bottom, right? If the woman is monogamous to a guy at the bottom, that will stop rebellion, especially if we create something like coverture, right? If we create a system of coverture that people at the bottom adhere to, then that means the woman is going to have to go through the peasant male for food. And that's going to make her loyal to the peasant male. And that's also going to allow us to control the peasant male because he's never going to rebel. The men will not war over wages, but they will war over wombs. They're not jealous of the rich man's money. They're jealous the fact that the rich man has access to unlimited sex. And men at the bottom will kill a man at the top for that. Not for the money. For what they think women think about him. Womb control. Now y'all really know what husband and wife means. See, we have associated with it like it's religious. Oh yeah, for God. No. You got to go to the etymology. What did the word mean when they first spoke it? Husband was a peasant farmer. Wife simply meant nothing but girl, babe, woman, or bitch. If the man said, come here, bitch, that was him saying, come here, wife. If he said, I'm going to marry this bitch, he was saying he's going to get married to a woman. That's what wife means. Wifman, girl, babe. Wife is actually a derogatory term. You got some people that say, I'm a man's wife. Based on the etymology of the word wife, it's derogatory. That's actually shade. That's actually a diss. A single woman based on what we read, is more of a flex than the wife, based on what we read. Remember, single women had the legal right to live where they pleased and to support themselves in any occupation that did not require a license or a college degree restricted to males. Single women could enter into contracts, buy and sell real estate, or accumulate personal property, which was called personality. It consisted of everything that could be moved: cash, stocks and bonds, livestock, and in the South, slave. So long as they remained unmarried, women could sue and be sued, write wills, serve as guardians, and act as executioners of estates. These rights were a continuation of the colonial legal tradition. Marriage changed women's legal status dramatically. When women married, as the vast majority did, they still had legal rights but no longer had autonomy. Instead, they found themselves in positions of almost total dependency of their husbands. By marriage, the husband and wife were one person in the law. That is, the very being or legal existence of the woman is suspended. The legal existence of the woman is suspended. One of the ways that men, or their weapon of war for a woman, was to get her pregnant and to marry her. Now plug this in to all the podcasts. Plug this in with all the language. Oh, you for the streets. Oh, you're this. Oh, no man is going to take you serious, right? Listen, an act of war for the woman, on the woman, when the man won the war, was to get the woman pregnant and to marry her. Because when the man married the woman, her legal status was suspended. You were not an individual no more. Only he was. That's a hell of a gift that elites gave to men at the bottom. And that secured men at the top's position even to this day. How do you have something like the 1% unequal distribution of wages? Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos. How come men at the bottom are not coming for the billionaires? Because they have access to sex. If men at the bottom no longer had access to sex, there would be a rebellion socially against the system. But since men at the bottom can have sex and procreate, life is good. The secret that modern men don't know: what is Black people's language? We're all not the same, but so what would our language be? Since we're using English, we might as well know what words mean, right? Right? So we go to the etymology. So since we're in this language, like you're typing in right now, we go to the etymology. And based on etymology, husband is a peasant, wife is a bitch. Based on etymology, that's what we seen. Now you can cook it up and make it mean what you want it to mean in Swahili, but we don't speak Swahili. Right? Just saying. Very interesting thing. Right? But what modern men don't understand is the womb was never designed to be controlled, ever. 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 And this is why modern men are having a Lilith issue, because that spirit is coming into the women. And many of them are gradually coming into this consciousness. And that's why the males are saying modern women, modern women. But if you're a scientist, you'll step back and be like, what the fuck is going on? Right? It's an old spirit that is coming back. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's happening right now. The Lilith, that's what you're experiencing. Now, if you're following me, you know that we have already broke down, there's 2 creation stories in the Bible, right? 2. We'll go to the first one. Here's Lilith, right? This is Lilith's story. Then God said, let us make man in our image according to our likeness. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him, male and female. He created them. Now, later we'll go into the second creation story, right? Both women rebelled against the man, right? And you'll see that the second woman, that her curse was to be under the husband. But let's deal with the first woman, because the first woman is the energy that these women have in them, and these males don't know what the hell they're looking at. What they are looking at is the Lilith, and they better be very cautious and extremely careful. Now, you might can't see this, it's a little small. All right. Now, Lilith is the first wife in the creation story, or the first woman. Right? Let's get into who is Lilith. Lilith is the extremely controversial figure within Jewish folklore. Lilith's name is not included in the creation story of the Torah, but she appears in several Masoretic texts. Her symbolism, history, and literature are debated among Jewish scholars, feminists, and other intellectuals. There are multiple origin stories for Lilith, but the most popular history told views Lilith as Adam's first wife. According to the first Eve story, Lilith was created by God from dust and placed to live in the garden with Adam until problems arose between Adam and Lilith, when Adam tried to exercise dominance over Lilith. Now, I started this conversation off saying, is there a war between men and women? The war between man and woman is the man has to control the womb. And the woman is always looking for a way not to be controlled by the man. This is the text part. Lilith wasn't having it. Very interesting, right? Why did they get into it? Problems arose between Adam and Lilith when Adam tried to exercise dominance over Lilith. One story tells that Lilith refused to lay beneath Adam during sex. She believed they were equal. Isn't that what women saying now? Right? She believed they were equal, both from dust of the earth. Thus, she should not have to lay beneath him. After Adam disagreed, Lilith fled the Garden of Eden to gain her independence. Adam told God that Lilith had left, and God sent 3 angels, Suni, Sanao, and Samlagoth, to retrieve her. These three angels found Lilith in a cave bearing children, but Lilith refused to come back to the garden. The angels told her they would kill 100 of her children every day for disobedience. In revenge, she is said to rob children of life and is responsible for the deaths of stillborn infants and crib deaths, SIDS. Male children are at risk of Lilith's wrath for 8 days after birth until circumcision, and girls are at risk for 20 days. Although Lilith stole children's lives in the night, she agreed not to kill the children who had amulets of either of the three angels. After the angel's departure, Lilith tried to return to the garden, but upon her arrival, she discovered that Adam had already had another mate, Eve. Out of revenge, Lilith had sex with Adam while he was sleeping and stole his seed. With his seed, she bears Lilum, earthbound demons, to replace her children killed by angels. Lilith is also said to be responsible for males' erotic dreams and night emissions. Another theory says that Lilith is impregnated, thus creating more demons by masturbation and erotic dreams. Lilith. Lilith rebelled against Adam. She was not hearing that because she was part of the first creation story, right? Let us make man in our image after our likeness. So notice there's no mention of a helpmeet here. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him, male and female, together at the same time. The next creation story we're going to get into, man was first. So when they say that, oh, Adam was the first man, he was the first human, that's not true. Based on Jewish folklore, he had a counterpart created at the same time. Her name was Lilith. So it shows you here that the womb was never designed to be controlled, right? Now, the interesting thing is this deity has to do it again, right? He has to create another woman because the first one wasn't having that shit. Right? First one wasn't having that. Now we pick right up off chapter 3. This is the second creation story, right? Now I want you to pay close attention because this woman ain't going to. You're going to see 2 times Lilith, whose story is missing, but she is talked about in Jewish folklore. And now this is supposedly Eve. Now peep this. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord God had made. And he said unto the woman, yeah, hath God said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden? And the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God hath said, ye did not eat it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. The Shakespearean language for me is funny. And the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die. For God doth know in the day thereof that ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and you shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. When the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that was pleasant to the eyes, and the tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof, and did eat, and gave also to her husband with her, and he did eat. And the eyes of them both opened, and they knew that they were naked. And they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons. And the Lord God, and the voice of the Lord God walking in the cool of the day. God is just walking, right? It's crazy. And Adam said to his wife, and Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Lord amongst the trees of the garden. And the Lord God called unto Adam and said unto him, where art thou? That is some ill shit for a God to say. Where art thou? And he said, I heard thy voice in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked and I hid myself. Watch this, the way this story goes. And he said, who told thee thou was naked? Hast thou eaten of the tree wherefore I have commanded thee that thou shouldest not eat? And the man said, the woman thou hast given to be with me, she gave me of the tree, and I did eat. And the Lord God said unto the woman, what is thou that thou hast done? And the woman said, the serpent beguiled me, and I did eat. And the Lord God said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle, and above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly thou shalt go, and dust shalt thou eat every day of thy life. And I will put enmity between thee and thy woman, and between thy seed and her seed, and it shall bruise thy head, and shall bruise his heel. Listen to the curse of the woman, though. Listen to the woman's curse. Now remember coverture, right? Listen to the woman's curse. Now, for those that say that femininity and submission is the natural state of the woman, let's find out based on what you believe in your Bible. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children. That means children are a curse. And thy desire shall be to thy husband, and she shall rule over thee. That means that the natural state of the woman was not to be ruled over. But when a husband is over her, she loses control. Remember coverture? Remember coverture, right? What did coverture say? Husband had responsibility over her conduct. He could reprimand her. Right? What's the other one? Let me see. By marriage, the husband and wife were one person in law. That is, the very being or legal existence of the woman is suspended during the marriage, or at least incorporated and consolidated into that of the husband, under whose wing, protection, and cover she performs everything. And her condition during the marriage is called coverture. So what y'all call natural is actually a curse. The woman was going to bring children in sorrow. That is the woman's curse, according to the story. Birth was a curse to the woman, and the husband was a curse to the woman. Now, here's the interesting thing about this story. The first woman rebelled against the man, said, I'm not going for under you. Now, this woman in this story did not listen to the man, but she did listen to what the serpent said. We are talking about serpent submission. When I said that the war between men and women is because they're different, yes, because the woman, her allegiance is to the serpent, and the man's allegiance is to survival. He wanted to get a woman pregnant, to pass his seed along, to replicate himself. The woman's allegiance is to the serpent. Remember, she said, the serpent beguiled me. She didn't listen to the man. The first woman didn't listen to the man either. Why would the woman listen to the serpent? What is significant about the serpent historically? Now, we know that the Bible is not the oldest book in the world. So there were concepts and meanings and ideals that predate the Bible. One of those ideals is serpent symbolism, or the worship of serpents. What does the serpent mean? And why did the woman listen to the serpent? Carl Jung says the serpent shows the way to hidden things. Remember, that was the tree of knowledge. They were supposedly forbidden to eat the tree of knowledge. The serpent told the woman to eat the tree. What is the tree of knowledge? Exposes them to what's hidden. The man in the story did not want that. He wanted the tree of life and just to go on about his business. But the woman picked and listened to the serpent. In the story, the woman was never, ever, ever submissive or even took leadership from the man. But she did take leadership from the serpent. She only comes under her husband when she's cursed. Her intention was never to even give birth. It says, sorrow, through sorrow you will bring children. Sorrow, not love, sorrow. Snakes and serpents can be found used in nearly every ancient culture as symbols for spirit, the divine entanglement, the power of the transformation. We still see them in our modern medical symbol, derived from the rod of the is the caduceus, or the staff of Hermes. Serpent worship in some form has permeated nearly all parts of the earth. The serpent mounds of the American Indians, Python, the great snake of the Greeks, the sacred serpents of the Druids, and the Midgard snake of Scandinavia, the Nagas of Burma, Siam, and Cambodia, the brazen serpent of the Jews, the mystic serpent of the Orphis, the snakes at the Oracle of Delphi, twinning themselves around the tripod upon the Python priest sat. The tripod itself being in the form of a twisted serpent. The sacred serpents preserved in the Egyptian temples. The uraeus coiled around the forehead of the pharaohs and priests. All those bear witness to the universal veneration in which the snake was held. That is an excerpt from Manly P. Hall's The Secrets, Teachings of All Ages, who is regarded as the #1 Masonic scholar in American history. Because what is the symbolism of this person talking to a serpent? What does it mean? What does it mean? The woman was never, ever, ever submissive to a man, ever, in the history of human creation. That only comes through a curse. Submissive, 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 submissive. We just read it. Woman said, I was giving me the tree. I did eat. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children. Hold on, let me zoom in for that. In sorrow. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and the husband shall rule over thee. So what was it before that then? Because if it's the punishment, then what was it before that? There was never a design for her to even have children in the first place. This comes from a punishment. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. This is womb control. Women of the past lost the war. The elites, the priesthood at the time, created a creation story where the woman was under the man. And that's what we've been going by this whole entire time. So the podcasters, the talking points, the you're gonna die alone, the female nature, it all pings back to this. But here's the problem. Is that the woman listened to the serpent and not what the man said. So there must be a thing with the woman and the serpent, not the woman and the man. Both women, Eve and Lilith, was not trying to hear what the man was saying because the man wants to control the womb. It was never supposed to be that. Lilith rebelled, so did Eve. Adam has a whole problem. And the seed of Adam, those that believe this story, are having women problems right now because they want to control something that should not be controlled. Nobody should, because I don't like nobody controlling me. I don't like no one telling me what to do. I don't like nobody in my space. So if I don't like control, what the woman is, nah, she's same. Consent is important. But because the women don't understand their role in history and that they lost a war, they believe the story themselves. Oh, man is the head and this and that. But there's a reason for women to go along with the story. And here is why men should free themselves too. Because those that are, quote, male identified, they are male identified not because that is their design. Women that are male identified are male identified for your shit. Because the secret power of women is the illusion of weakness. What men don't understand is the woman is of the serpent. Spiritual growth, fertility, healing, duality and balance, protection, rebirth and regeneration. Don't you hear women sometimes be like, oh, I'm celibate right now? I don't ever hear a dude say that. Women do, though. Oh, that's rebirth and regeneration. Oh, I'm blessed and highly favored. What is another aspect of the serpent? Deceit. Deceit. Now, some of you would say that's messed up, that the woman would be deceitful. Is it? Since you use your powers of physical strength, right? You use strength as leverage to move in society. The women also use things too. And it's the illusion of weakness. Because the woman is of the serpent. Now, I'm dropping you a jewel, men. You need to stop underestimating female intellect. They are smarter than you. Let me tell you how a woman is smarter than you. You pick them because how they look. They pick you based on what you have. They're more equipped for survival. You're picking her based on a biological urge because you would like to have sex. And because of that urge, you will give her every single thing that you have worked for based on a part of her body, and she will allow it. She's of the serpent. But what you don't know is once she has that baby, she do not want you. That is the Lilith. The woman's partnership is with the children, not with the man. Ouch. They're telling you without telling you. When the baby is born, you got to fight for attention. Remember, Lilith came and sat on Adam's penis while he was sleeping and took the seed. She did not want him. Lilith wanted the seed. Eve wanted knowledge. None of them wanted the man. The woman has to be put in fucked up situations to want the man. Let that sit on your head, men. Eve wanted the seed, or Lilith wanted the seed. She didn't want the man. Eve wanted knowledge. She didn't want the man. Eve had to be cursed to be under the man. And you know what's interesting? There's groups like incels that are socially awkward and sometimes even violent because they don't have access to the womb. That's how powerful the womb is. Women are not shooting shit up because they don't get men. Men are destructive to society when they don't have access to sex. The woman is of the serpent, not the same. Right? Not the same. The woman is always going to go towards knowledge. I never hear a woman say, I'm comfortable. It's always more, 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 more and more. It's not enough, more. The man says, I'm comfortable where I'm at. Because the man was of the tree of life. So most men get into a financial position and be straight. I'm good, yo. I'm good. The woman get $1 billion in her lap right now and still want more. That is the serpent. You can't make a woman happy. A woman is never satisfied. She's of the serpent. The man wants life. What do they say? Man just want peace. Right? All you got to do is feed a man, fuck him, and leave him alone. Women want more than that. Why? They're of a different seed. Men get money, be good. Right? The woman will say in the relationship, the man is not beating on her, he's not verbally abusing her, none of that. I'm not happy. Why? I don't feel like we're doing enough. The man is like, I bought you this, I bought you that. And she's filing her nails. I'm not happy. Why? Why is she not happy? The serpent. And the man is fighting to control the womb. Protect Kevin Samuels at all costs. Protect Fresh and Fit at all costs. They're doing the work. Winter's coming. They're going to make the women get back in line. Black women know the white man is the enemy. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. I believe the black woman thinks, when the white man shows up, shit is about to get done. I don't believe the average black woman thinks the white man is the quote enemy. Not subconsciously. Shit is about to get fixed when the white boys show up. Shit is about to go a certain type of way when white boys show up. White boy shows up, them abandoned buildings get fixed. Grass begins to grow in places that it didn't before. Gotta call a spade a spade. Men now have a great opportunity, an opportunity to be free. Not womb control, right? Not womb control. The woman was never designed, right, to be under the man. Ever. And it's a headache even living like that in the first place as a dude. But the women allow you to do it because of their secret power. Yeah, I gotta take care of the woman. I gotta do all this because the elite never told you that the woman is of the serpent. So you don't understand female intellect and you don't know their power. The women's power is the illusion of weakness. Everything in nature has a power. Sharks smell blood and water. Cheetahs run fast. Certain animals are able to camouflage. Right? owls are able to rotate their head 360. Dolphins have sonar. What do you think the woman's superpower is? If the woman belongs to the serpent, she shouldn't benefit from the man. The man is addicted to the womb. He cannot stop fucking with the womb. So the woman is going to finesse the man. Can't stop fucking with the womb. Right? Men think it's their job to tell women what to do, talk about their vaginas, try to fix them. They don't need fixing. They're acting that way on purpose. They are not dumb. The woman is of the serpent. The serpent shows the way to hidden things. The woman is of the serpent. The reason why the male doesn't understand that is because the male is under life. The male just wants peace. This is what y'all say. Feed me, fuck me, leave me alone. That's easy. One of the skill sets women use in that process is sex. What men don't understand is dick is not a punishment for a woman. So when you say, feed me, fuck me, leave me alone, that's fine. You men actually elevate a woman's womb higher than they do. Y'all say her womb is special. Y'all say, oh, she should respect it. She's like, man, I'm trying to fling this motherfucker to everybody that I can. You're like, no. You trying to catch the frisbee where she throw it? You like, no. You a damn soccer goalie. No. The woman is of the serpent because in the Bible, she listens to the serpent, not the man. There's for a reason. Lilith didn't listen to the man. Then Eve listened to what the serpent said, not the man said. That is interesting. Listen to all the podcast dudes. You're long term. What about long term? In 40 years, the woman is like, 40 years? Yeah, what are you going to do when you're 80? The woman, 21. She ain't thinking about that shit. Listen, and listen clear. Women oftentimes focus more on the now. They ain't thinking about 80 years from now. The men are trying to tell what the women to. The men are even talking about when it comes to sex. They start talking about energy. Oh, because you hold energy in your vagina. Not like, my nigga, you eat meat. Like, what are you talking about? How come when you get hella metaphysical, when it's time to talk about the woman's vagina, you start talking about the energy that the vagina holds? Because when you sleep with partners, the vagina consumes, you know what I'm saying? They start talking about occultists. Meanwhile, they're eating chicken. Energy. Yeah, and beef. Yeah, energy. What about the chicken energy? It don't matter. Let me get that Big Mac. I thought you was just talking about energy. Only when it comes to the vagina. The dudes get very deep. That's for a reason. Because the man thinks that the vagina is sacred. The woman is like, coochie coupon, coochie coupon, coochie coupon. The man is running behind her. No, no, no. So the woman says, you know what? Fine. Since you don't want me to sling this pussy, buy me this, buy me that, buy me that, buy me that. And the man is like, all right, just stay in the house and I'll take care of you. And the woman is like, because the woman is of the serpent, the woman is like, well, he is 15 years older than me. All right. I'm 25, he's 40. When I'm 40, he'll be 55. He does have a bad diet. I can get this nigga one kid, maybe two. By 55, he should be dead. I got the life insurance. All right, bet. The man is like, yeah. Got the woman on the arm. Hey, bros. Hey. Yeah, she was a good one, huh? Wifey status. The bros is like, damn. And the woman is like, yeah, I'll work this shit for a couple years. Lilith wanted the seed. Eve wanted knowledge. What men don't know is, here's the secret. The secret to quote unquote controlling the woman is allow her to choose. That's the secret to controlling the womb. Allow the woman to choose. Remember, the woman is of the serpent. That creator in the garden does not like choice. Right? You only eat of the tree of life, not of the tree of knowledge. Right? What did the serpent tell Eve? When you eat thereof, your eyes will surely be open and you will see as gods. Even God said that. Behold, read it with me. Watch this. And the Lord God said, behold, the man is become one of us to know good and evil. Hold on. That's what this is all about. Choice. Damn. When the men say, yeah, you know, the more money that the woman makes, she is disqualified. You know why? Look at the verse again. Behold, the man has become one of us, knowing good and evil. Because when the woman gets the money and she gets the education, she becomes one of us. Hell no. But that's how you get chose, man. See, when she got money and you got money, she got options, you got options, and she say, I like you. There is a loyalty there that is more stronger than when you find her broke, busted, and disgusted, and you try to put her under the wing. Women resent tricks. They'll rock with you though. She knows in her mind that you found her when her shit wasn't together. There's a slight resentment right there. You're not rocking with her while she got choice. Womb control is about the woman not having any choice. So when y'all say that the woman loses her value, the more education that she gets and the more money that she makes, it's to scare the woman away from choice. But what you don't understand is to fuck with the woman in her natural state, her serpent state, she needs choice. Y'all have never got loyalty from the womb because she's never had no choice in fucking with you. It's kind of like she got to do what she got to do. And remember, the woman is smarter than the man. The man chooses a woman because of how she looks. The woman doesn't make those kind of decisions. Now, y'all will say some women choose because of looks, Pookie, Ray Ray, single mama, do. Let me tell you something real quick about the single mama shit. Lilith wanted the seed. Y'all have more problems with the single mama shit than they do. Do you know why? Because the babies are the woman's partner, not the man. Some women just want a nigga in the bed like I Dream of Jeannie, and when she's done, she want to go like this. Ding! Pipe. Squat. Is that how it be? Like macaroni? And then when it's over, he lay back in the bed. Yeah, that was good. I beat that shit up. And she looking off, she like, so what you about? Yeah, what you got the women is hitting men with the, so what you about to do though? He comfortable and shit. She noticed that he got a hole in his sock. So as he's talking, she's like, bing. Then he wake up in his bed like, what the fuck? How I get here? Why? Women don't want men like y'all think. This is the thing. They don't want y'all like y'all think. They don't have a problem being the single mama. They really don't. Y'all are kind of some of them have feelings, so it's easy to guilt them. Oh man, I need a daddy for my son. I need a daddy for my daughter. They not really tripping. Not like y'all think. The women is not tripping like y'all think. You overestimate what you think women want. Women want the seed and women want knowledge. Right? Now, those that are like this with a man is because of choice. See, y'all want the relationship uneven. You want her to need you, but it's more power being desired. I'm just saying. Y'all don't know the woman. The woman is of the serpent. She want different things than you. You want to have babies. The man thinks about survival, spreading my seed. The man thinks his legacy is having kids. Kids, 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 kids. Right? Y'all talk, man, single mamas is messing up the community. Women care about their kid. Why do you assume that they care about the community? Why do you think women give a fuck about that? You don't understand the serpent. I'm gonna tell you like a famous philosopher told me, I'm here for a good time, not a long time. The women is here for a good time. The man is the planet, the earth. Let's save this shit. Does it look like women care? The men is the community. The community. Does it look like women care? What's their behavior say? Their behavior says something different than you. What your behavior is saying. You're thinking about survival. Women are thinking about life, just chilling, being here, getting money, hanging out, having fun, traveling. That's the serpent. That's the knowledge, the tree of knowledge, choice, right? Seeing her babies win, shit like that. They don't want what you want. They don't give a fuck about the earth. They don't fuck about you. Talk the future. Women don't give a fuck about the future. The future, nigga. The future. That's the man struggling, trying to spread his seed, and I need to survive. I need to survive. Huh? This is what I'm saying. You making my point. Black men need to step up for your race. What? That's what I'm saying. The man is of the tree of life. My race. An entire group of people. Black women are keeping babies to keep their bloodline. Let me tell you something about women. If there's a war going on, right? All that bloodline shit, blah, blah, blah. Whoever's the winner is going to impregnate the women. The women think about survival. Bloodline? That's dude shit. I want to keep my bloodline pure. That's guy talk. That's guy talk. Women think of self. Women embody self-preservation. Do you know why? Women have a menstrual cycle. They have a biology. They have something in them that makes them take care of themselves every month. There's an independence there. The man is circumcised. So the thing that makes him think about himself is cut off. The race. What? All them? The women are preserving themselves. I'm talking about women now. See, the other women was under the coverture, but they was trying. They was trying to get from under the man. These women right here, they're not going back to that other shit. Now, some of y'all say, yeah, right, until there's a natural disaster. Let me tell you something. The women would rather die in a natural disaster than to be under your yoke. They would rather the system collapse totally and they just die off before it goes back to that. I'm telling you that right now. They'll never go back to that. Did they go back to that during COVID? Were they running to you? The woman is of the serpent. And that's what many men think. You think that, yeah, you're waiting like for some type of system failure, critical mass. And then the women is going to be like, bro, I need you. I need you. Some will. Most is like, shit, let me get some dick before I get up out of here. You don't know women. See, because you don't listen. When they talk, you think they're lying. Yeah, that ain't really how you feel. You're just hurt. That's why you're saying that. Everything you think they're saying, you misinterpret it because you don't understand. The women is of the serpent. Right? Everything they say, you interpret it. Oh, you just bitter. Oh, you just hurt. Look at the serpent again. Spiritual goal, fertility, healing, duality, and balance, protection, rebirth, regeneration, deceit, wisdom. Right? Deceit. What kind of deceit? What kind of deceit is the woman master of? The illusion of weakness. And as long as men don't understand that that is a strategy that women use, you're always going to get finesse. Women aren't weak. They are not the so-called weaker vessel. You're saying that because her body is soft, right? Her inner is as strong as your outer. That's what y'all don't understand. What you are physically, that's what they are on the inside. Right? You have some bugs, when you step on them, you hear a crunch. It's like an exoskeleton. Huh? I just feel like entertaining some shit, right? Nah, you don't know women. Hell, you sound like you don't know men either. Who your daddy, God or Satan? Satan is the fallen angel. Serpent, also the son of God. Know your facts. Facts. I'll bite. Ma'am, those aren't facts. What we deal over here is things like anthropomorphism. Have you ever heard that word? We also deal with something called astrotheology. Have you ever heard that word? We know that the serpent is symbolic. We know that Satan is energy. It's not a person. And we know God comes from the Germanic tribes. It just means simply to pour a libation. Right? Man, my name is Body Bag Ken. Let me help you. Is the Bible a lie? Whoever said it was true in the first place? Symbols, man. Do you know symbols? I'll give you an example. Or do you know how to interpret something like this, right? If you're resting in the arms of the Lord, that's called anthropomorphism, man. Attaching physical characteristics to the supernatural, right? God knows my heart. The Lord knows my heart. That is anthropomorphism, to attach human emotion to created deities. Is the Bible a lie? It's great philosophy, right? But that's what humans do, right? We see phenomena in the sky like lightning and associate it with a deity. And as time go on and as we build culture, we'll associate human characteristics to that lightning and say it's angry or it's sad or it wants us to make a sacrifice. And as time continues to go on, we're going to write books about the lightning. And by the time generate thousands of years later, the lightning will have an entire origin story, right? Yes, the word God means to pour a libation. The word God is a Germanic word. It just means to pour a libation. And then people started to make it mean the supernatural. But the word when it was first created didn't mean good, right? Now, here's the thing you got to pay attention about words. When you start to take on words and use them, it can be a curse to you because you're not of the people that created the word. This is a Gothic word, the Visigoths. The word was used for in Germanic tribes, right? It's a word. That's all it is a word, right? It doesn't mean what we think it means, right? But what we do, if we play the telephone game, right? Pass the message, pass the message, pass the message, pass the message. By the time the message get back to me, it's going to mean some totally something different. And always remember this: if you can count it or you can measure it, it's not eternal, right? If it has a name, it's not eternal. If you actually want to get in contact with the source, don't talk. Don't call it anything. Because the moment you call it something, you put human bias on it. So it's done. It's ruined, right? When you look up in the heavens and you try to put it in words to make it mean something, it lost its sting. You just look at it in awe. Your awe is the worship. You don't got to say nothing. Because the moment you bring it in language and try to describe it, it's going to come through a biased filter. Oh, you know what I mean? So be careful with that. When you look at nature, just let a tear drop. When you look at creation and you don't understand it, just let a tear drop and respect the mystery. Don't try to figure it out because then it's going to lose the meaning, right? Try to figure it out. It's the great mystery, but we pervert it when we try to create language for it. Oh, it's this and that. And each culture is going to have this narcissistic approach to it. Oh, it really loves me. No, it really loves me. Oh, no, it really chooses me. And then they're going to fight each other. No, it loves me more. No, it loves me more. No, it loves me more. And whoever wins the war, right? That's how it goes, right? I had some good fuck around time. So, fellas, in closing, the best control is self-control, right? Now, the best relationship that you can have with the serpent seed, the woman, is allow her to choose. Choice, right? If you try to buy her, if you limit a woman's choice, she'll always resent you. always. But she could be your wife too, though. Right? She was not made to have limited choice. Right? She want choice. She of the seed, the serpent. Right? She want the tree of knowledge. She want to know things. She want to see things. Right? She's not satisfied. You're of the tree of life. Oh man, I'm full. Right? Nigga ate good, man. Nigga ate good. That's what y'all do. Right? Nigga got the itis, man. Yeah, man. Got your promotion. What you say? Shit, man, I'm comfortable, man. Right? I'm comfortable. What the woman get a promotion, and guess what? She won another one. I've never heard a woman say, I'm comfortable right now. Nah. More money, more trips. Right? And what you're learning, here's the one thing that you're learning, and men are astonished by. Not only do the women want more money, more trips, more flex, they want more dick too. Men are like, what? Y'all like sex like that? Yeah. See, they were under coverture. So you thought that the only purpose that they had was to reproduce. And now the spirit of Lilith is in them. They trying to get piped down. They don't want that coverture sex. How does the man go about passing wisdom through the woman? What do you mean by that? How does shout out to you, bro? How does the man go about passing wisdom through the woman? I'm gonna wait for your comment. Now, the reason why I said they want more is because that's what the war was fought over anyway. The male in the past the male is jealous of the woman's sexuality. All of this was to control the woman's sex drive. The woman is a natural whore. I know that's a tough landing, right? You know, that's hard to accept, right? Right? That's her nature. Men are finding it out, and they are like flabbergasted. The woman's a natural whore, though. Right? She comes to the planet to get pounded out. That's the war is fought over. All right, let me see. Answer this real quick. I think you once said knowledge is passed through the woman and it turns into wisdom. King's mouth. I think you once said knowledge is passed through the woman. You once said knowledge is passed through the woman and turns into wisdom. Oh, okay. Go back to your first question. How does a man go about passing wisdom through the woman? Got you. All right. The way that you pass the wisdom through the woman is showing her new things. Women want to learn. Right? Right? The way that you pass wisdom through the woman is to teach her. She's of the seed of serpent. She's of the serpent seed, right? Right? She wants knowledge. The problem is a lot of guys don't have what the women want. Right? The man assumes it's all about money. Oh, women make like across and up. Women are hypergamous. Do you know that what y'all consider resource hypergamy oftentimes women consider knowledge like that too. The man is hypergamous. The man is into that. The woman chose the tree of knowledge. That's what the woman is into, the knowledge. A woman can have a rich man, right? And if she's in a bookstore, right, and she strikes up a conversation with a very intelligent man, right, she's going to try to figure out how to keep talking to that intelligent man without fucking her shit up. Even if he don't got money. She's going to figure out how to go back to that bookstore and mistakenly bump into him. Because the intelligent conversation to the woman, her mind is going so many places, right? I don't know. Right? She could have a dude that's straight balling. But if he don't talk to her for real, you know what I'm saying? If he doesn't open up her mind, see, this is why y'all don't know women. Women are hypergamous. Then why do women leave rich dudes? Oftentimes when a woman ends up with a dude, he's oftentimes not the most financially stable guy she could have been with. The woman is of the serpent. So it's knowledge, man. It's knowledge. Remember, the universe is mental. The universe is mental. Y'all underestimate. Look, man. Femininity is rebellious by nature. It's not what y'all think of soft. Lilith was rebellious. Eve was rebellious, right? The only thing that soothes them is knowledge. The woman could be, hey, do you know what pie is? And she, yeah, pie? You know what pie is? The woman could be, hey, have you ever heard of sacred geometry? Y'all got it wrong. Y'all got the game wrong. Right? Once she gonna secure the money, right? She gonna go after that knowledge, man. She gonna go after that knowledge. The reason why you never heard of Lilith, well, it's in Jewish folklore, but the Bible has been cut up so many times. You know what I'm saying? But it's part of Jewish folklore though. But when you read the book of Genesis, you see two different creation stories. The first creation story was Adam or the man and Lilith, right? And she thought we were equals, and Adam was like, "Nah, we not." Right? The man does not want to be your equal. The man does not want to same. You know what I'm saying? You give a little, I give a little. You take a little, I take a little. He don't want that because that's choice. the way that modern men have built up their male shit is the lack of choice elevates him. I personally don't believe that because my manhood is not connected to what a woman does or doesn't do. I'm man all by myself. But the average man, the way his brain is set up, is the woman has to have a lack of. And that, right? I like to get chose. Right? Choose me. Right? I like when somebody's here because they want to be. I like when somebody's here because they desire me. Right? I like to be thought about when a person don't need me. Right? Types, oh, I was just thinking about you, and don't want shit. Because you was just thinking about me. You know what I mean? Shit like that make you give to somebody. So the secret, fellas, is choice. That choice go a long way. It go a longer way than someone needing you. The woman does not want to need you. She wants to want you because she is the seed of the serpent. We take old ideals and kill them, right? We kill them, we bury them. And when we bury them, out comes a new mindset, right? So I'm body bag Ken. Because we take a bunch of old shit, we look at it, and we kill it, right? And then we become new people, right? So my name is Body Bag Ken. Can I tell you a story before I go? Let me tell you a story about superheroes, right? You got Marvel heroes, you got DC heroes, you got different kind of superheroes in the game, right? Some of them are villains, you know what I'm saying? Some of them climb walls, shoot webs. Some of them are super smart. They got gadgets, you know what I'm saying? Professor Xavier, he's a mental dude. Jean Grey is mental. But then there's other kind of superheroes, right? The kinds of superheroes that don't wear capes. It's other kind of superheroes. Like myself. We just pull up with waves. Take care of yourself and each other. The Cash App is your friend. Super Chat is your friend. And I am your friend. My name is Ken Billions. Peace.
Biggest game, it's like, remember we was all back in high school? Some of you may be still in high school or whatever, but follow me. We had the regular class and then you had honors class. And I feel like Ken Billions game is nothing but honors class. Everything that you learned in life and been through in life or whatever he's talking about at that certain time. And, like point of reference, game for guys. Everybody learn game from somebody and this and that, and it's all over the place. But once I listened to Game for Guys, it was like being in an honors class. Ken is a brilliant guy. I still listen to him to this day. Listen to him almost every other day, and I stay studying. And if I look at a video and he's giving us homework, I'm gonna look through that video. I'm gonna write my notes down. I'm gonna do my homework. Then I'm gonna watch the next video. I mean, you just can't get enough of the game and the knowledge that this brother brings to you. He's allowed me to look back into history, my own history. I found out about black people that I never even knew about, black millionaires and people like that. Recently, I learned about the reticular activating system, and that's something that I'm studying up on as we speak. Which I plan on reprogramming myself. You know what I'm saying? So overall, the Ken Billions game has done a lot for me. It's allowed me to elevate as a man, as a father. It just allowed me to be more excited about life and not be in the program of being oppressed. And that's one of the main things for me that I have to say that this game has done for me. And I'm so glad that I ran across it.